Hi guys, welcome back to Charlotte's Foliage. Today we're going to be doing a upstairs plant tour just so you can see how my plants have done since the winter weather has came in and how I had to bring them in and just see everything that I own upstairs. And downstairs will be part two where my plant store is and also some of my plants that I have that are not from the store. So let's just get started. First off, let me tell you, welcome. And if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and enjoy the content. If you're revisiting, I'm glad that you came back and supported my channel. And please know that I do appreciate you. So let's get started right over here in the corner where the camera is facing. So this plant right here, move this chair so you guys can see really good. This is my Adansonii, Monstera Adansonii. She is growing. Some days she gives me attitude and she starts getting a little discoloration in her leaves, but for the most part, I put her on a pole, so she seems to be very happy. And she goes all the way up to here where my hand is. Okay, so that's my Monstera Adansonii. And then right in front of this plant is a Gloriosum. And I believe this is a Gloriosum. I get them mixed up, or a McDowell. I think this is my Gloriosum. So anyway, Philodendron Gloriosum, I had to put her on a pole. This plant grows just all kinds of ways, so you have to make room for it. So I put her on a pole, and as you can see, one of her leaves didn't make it, but it's just a partial leaf. But for the most part, this is a healthy plant. I'll pan back so you can see it. Now, we're going to scoot her over a bit so you guys can see the next plant. This is a Mammii, Philodendron Mammii. Now this plant gave me a hard time. It grew like crazy, and then I don't know if it got some type of pest infestation, but before I let it get too bad, I chopped it up and propagated it, and look how good she's growing now. I actually have another part of this plant in another room, but yeah. That's a Philodendron Mammii. It's got some new growth points here that's trying to open up. I got this plant in the kitchen so it can get a little humidity. It's not much to it, but it is growing. And the plant next to this plant, I've had this plant for years. This is 2 years now. Florida Green. I love the shape of this plant leaves. This plant never, ever gives me discoloration. It's just a easy plant. It can dry out between waterings, and I just give it a little light. This is my first time putting it on the pole. It seems to like it. As you can see close right there, that plant is pushing out a new leaf. And if I pan back, you can see just how beautiful she is. Okay, so that's a Philodendron Florida Green. All right, next to it is a plant that I just put on a pole, so it's not looking healthy, but it'll get itself together. This is one of my Epipremnum albos, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, so she's showing distress, but this plant is kind of like the pothos. What this plant will do is it'll adjust to the move, and then it'll start pushing out new leaves. So I'm going to turn it around so you can see. Here's some babies here, just so you can see the beauty in the plant. That's a new growth point right there. But a lot of times if you move your plant, make changes to your plants, they will respond to those changes. It's stress on the plant sometimes. And it's not, doesn't mean the plant is dying. It's just adjusting. Not only is this plant adjusting to the repot and going on a pole, but it's also adjusting to this new area, new placement where I put this plant at. Okay, so I put her on a pole. Now, right next to that epipremnum is another epipremnum. Now, this one here adjusted well. It's the same plant. One of them is a Epipremnum albo, and the other one is a Epipremnum aurea. Look at the leaves on this plant, you guys. I did have to repot it. Look how big that pot is, but it likes it. I'm going to show you some of the beautiful variegations in the leaves. Look at that. And she's growing on up. Look at that leaf, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? And this one here hasn't pushed out a whole lot of variegation, but it's happy. So I'm going to pan back so you can just see how big that plant is. Here's the pole. Okay. So yeah, and now we're going to talk about my Taneki. Look at this plant. Isn't she beautiful? This was a little bitty plant I bought at Home Depot, and it loves this corner. It adjusts to this corner well, and it's pushing out a new leaf right down there. You might not can see it, but yeah, it's got a new leaf coming in, and the little burgundy part there. But that's a beautiful plant. I haven't lost any leaves yet, thank God. Look at the back seals on the plant. It looks like a picture, a painting, or some type of drawing. So, those are my plants here in the kitchen on the floor. Now, up here on the shelf, this is another Mamiya I was telling you guys about. Look how crazy this plant is growing. It's pushing out new leaves here, there, as you can see. And that's how the leaf actually looks, a healthy leaf. That is my Philodendron Mamiya. Okay? This is my, I believe this is a tricolor Hoya. But look at the leaves in this plant, you guys. Hoyas are so easy. All you do is give them great light, little bit of humidity. Look at that leaf, you guys. And don't water this plant until the leaves get a little soft, because that's how you know when to water them. These cups here, I have one here and I have one there. They were some plant cuttings that someone gave to my husband. So I potted them up when they started rooting. So I just potted these up yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to move this so we can get a kind of good look of what I have over here. It's not as much light over here. This is just a Crassula. I wanted this plant. They call it a buttons plant also. And so this is my first time taking care of this succulent type plant. So yeah, I'm just, I just love the shape of it. And when I got the plant, I got it from Peace, Love, and Happiness Nursery. It was full and healthy. This right here is a silver coin plant. And it too, you treat it like a succulent. And it's growing fine. It was a little bitty plant when I first got it. I actually have one in propagation because I want to make sure I have extras. This is a Opuntia cactus. And it's the variegated one. If you look closely, there's a new growth point coming up there, okay? It had something on the leaves, that's why you see those markings, and I treated it with alcohol. But yeah, this is a Opuntia cactus, variegated. All right, so that's it for these plants right here. Now I'm gonna show you a few small plants I have in the window here. Most of these, I believe, are succulents. Okay. This one right here, that is a Euphorbia cactus. It's the variegated one. It's very pretty. It almost looks silver. And then this is a bear's paw succulent, but that plant used to be variegated. It needs water because it's kind of flat. That's how you can tell. Once we give it some water, it'll get fluffy. This is some type of Dracaena plant. I believe I bought that at a local grocery store, but it's doing fine. This is the only Dracaena plant that I have, I believe. I forget the name of this. I think it's a pickle cactus. But this plant grows like crazy. I'll pan in so you can see how healthy it is and how it grows. And then I'll go back so you can see. See how wonky that plant is? But it grows, so this is some type of succulent. I don't know the name of it. I got it at a local grocery store, but it seems to be thriving. This, too, is some type of cactus. I've forgotten the name of it. I've gotten it from a grocery store. You guys, I'm not really good with cactus and succulents and remembering their names, but I can tell you that they're a lot easier to take care of because they require very little care. You don't even have to water them that often. You do have to water them, but not so often. This is my prickly pear cactus. And as you can see, look at that big old long growth point up top there. I put this plant outside in the summer, and it just took off. So this is, and a lot of these plants I put outside in the summer, and they just go nuts. They love it. All right, this right here is my first Christmas cactus. Some people say it's a Thanksgiving cactus. I don't know. It was sold to me as a Christmas cactus, okay? So, but you guys, it has the most beautiful leaves that open up and shoot out this white flower in the center. It's beautiful. Okay, so right next to it, the lighting may not be very good. I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to open it up. That is an aquarium that I bought. I sold one in my store, and so I made another one. I'll let you see the veining flowers up top there. Beautiful flowers in there, you guys. Okay? And this is a Rick Rack cactus propagation. And those are some philodendrons in propagation. Okay, so we're done there. We're going to go over to this window. This is I think this is a sunrise Hoya. As you can see, it's been sun stressed. And so it's pushing out this little burgundy colors on the leaves. I have this in a window in the kitchen. And that's an east-facing window. It's kind of southeast. This is a Sansevieria plant. I don't know which one. This is that coin plant that I told you I had in propagation. These are just some moss balls that I have. My kids can't stand them. They think, my grandkids, they think they look gross. But I have a plant. I think this is a Tillandsia, some type of cactus in propagation because it broke off. And then this is a pubicalix, little small cuttings in there. And I made that little pot with some clay with my grandkids. And this is a Hoya macrophylla. And it's doing fine. It's growing, and the leaves, I think it has the little yellow border around the leaves. It's a beautiful plant. Hoyas, some of them are slow growers, but the pubicalix seems to be a fast grower. All right, let's go in the living room. We're going to stop here because I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed. We're going to just look at the plants in the cabinet, and then we'll go and the second video will show the rest of the living room. So right here, I'm going to open up the door so you guys can get a good look at it. This is my Hoya obovata. This used to be my favorite Hoya, and I still like it. I like the big, fat, juicy, round leaves. And then right behind it is a Undula. I may not be pronouncing that right. Hoya. This Hoya died on me when I first got it. And some people call it the dumpster Hoya because it has some really weird looking characteristics to it. But as you can see, I have a growth point on there. I put this plant outside and it just started growing for me. Now I have to bring it in because it's too cool. And then this plant right here was a 2-leaf cutting, and this is a Hoya Sarawak, and this is my first Hoya that has ever bloomed. As you can see, these little things here, they're called peduncles. Those are peduncles that have produced flowers that are fragrant. So I have this in leca. Basically, this is leca and water, and the water gets up to the roots of the plant, and the plant continues to push out new growth. If you're curious about what this little package is right here, those are called beneficial mites. You can buy them on Amazon, and what they do is prevent your plants from getting a bug infestation, and you don't want your plants dying due to being bitten up by the bad bugs. So those are the good bugs that kill the bad bugs, okay? So there's my Hoya Sarawak. This is a plant that I have in propagation, and I can't remember because it's just a stem. It's been like this for so long. It's not dying and it's not growing. It's a weird thing there. This little pot here, I forget where I got it from, but inside of this pot is a plant called Lithos. Okay, Lithos. And you water them every now and again, and it's not very often. This is, Calistophyllum. This is a Hoya too. Look at the veinations in this plant. It's not a fast grower, but it's a beautiful plant to look at, you guys. Hoya Calistophyllum. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. All right, here's my big baby. This is a Syngonium albo, I believe. And look at the leaves, you guys. Look how big this plant is. Let me stand back so you can see it. This plant, you just give it light and don't let it dry out. As you can see, I got a growth point right here. I just had to repot this plant. But look at the leaves. And then every leaf is unique. Some of them have lots of variegation. Some of them have half variegation. Some of them have white variegation. But look at that leaf there. I'm going to turn it around so you can see some other colors. Look at these colors, you guys. This is a beautiful plant. All right, so let's go to the next one. This is a Scindapsus in propagation, and it's in some sphagnum moss, but it's already rooted, so I'm gonna have to eventually take that out of there. I got a few yellow leaves, but it's okay. This is my philodendron heart leaf. This plant was a big plant, and it started dying on me before I knew how to take care of it. And now I put it in perlite, and I tell you, this plant has been taking off. It's just in perlite, and then that's it. I just try to keep the perlite a little moist, but it can dry out. It doesn't hurt. But if I stand back, you can see it's giving me some leggy growth. And we're going to pick up those leaves here in a minute, the dead leaves. Right now, I just want to show you her beauty. So yeah, you want to pick away the dead foliage so that the plant can continue to thrive, okay? So yeah, that is my heartleaf philodendron. Now, I'm going to get on my knees a little bit in the lower part of my cabinet, and what you'll see is here is some propagation of different plants. This is an Adansonii. You've seen that in the kitchen. I believe this is a heartleaf philodendron, but I'm not sure. And I think it's a Micans in there. Yep, there's a Micans. Let me show you. It's opening up a new leaf. Look how beautiful this leaf is. Velvety. Okay. And then these plants, this is a wandering, they don't call it a wandering Jew anymore, but they call it a Tradescanthia, I believe. But look how beautiful it is. I can only grow this plant in water or on my deck. Otherwise, I don't do well with it. This is another Syngonium. Look at the leaves, you guys. Ooh, that look like a frosty snow scene. Look at this one. It's almost mostly all white, but I'm glad it's not because it wouldn't be able to live without being able to photosynthesize. Look at this here. This leaf here is beautiful. Look at the green stripes right there. Look at that. And then here's another leaf. This one has a little browning on it. This one is going away. And you notice the white one is the one that's going away because they can't live. It needs some of the green on there. Here is an expensive plant that I bought, and I heard all kinds of good stories and bad stories. People say it's expensive, but the plant can easily die. So I keep it in a little bit of sphagnum moss to keep it healthy and wet. This is a Thai constellation. Look at the leaves on that baby. And since it's been in my care, it's pushed out 2 new leaves. I just keep it in that little cup there. It's got some barky mix there, and it also has sphagnum moss on top. And this is a asparagus fern, you guys. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I had one before, but I didn't keep it watered enough, so it died. So I purchased another one. And this plant, not only is it beautiful, I think around Christmas time, they really are special. I know what I'm going to do. I need to put something red in there, I feel like. So I'll put a little mushroom I got in there. Look at that. Beautiful plant. Beautiful plant. I need to clean my plant cabinet out, but this way we can look and see what's needed, okay? This is a plant that I like to leave alone. I showed you a smaller one in propagation, but this is another Scindapsus. I believe this is a Algerius, but I don't know. It's either Algerius or a Exotica. But look how juicy and fat the leaves are. Beautiful specimen. Okay? We're going to move her out the way. And the plant behind the Scindapsus is another type of Scindapsus. I cannot get this plant to grow for nothing. It gives me new leaves and then it dies off, but it never just dies all the way. This is a Scindapsus trubii, okay? Look at that. Beautiful silver on the leaves with a center that's dark green. And it's, like I said, it's a beautiful specimen. And I hope that I can really, really get it to grow full, okay? So let's move her back, and then we're going to pull forward our last plant. This is a Hoya Crimson Queen, I believe. See the beautiful waxy leaves with the white border. Easy plant, flat, fast growing plant. It's giving me some new growth right here. Look at that leaf, you guys. This plant doesn't give me any problems at all. The leaves are nice and thick, which means that it doesn't need to be watered right now, okay? Hoya Crimson Queen. All right. That's pretty much it for this cabinet, you guys. And if you stayed with me this long, I'm glad you did, because we have a part 2 coming up. This is not all of my plants. It's just a few of them that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see me and say until part 2. Thanks, guys, for stopping by my channel. And don't forget to watch part 2 of this video. Bye now.